stick around here. Okay, so to be a guest on Chapman Radio is pretty easy.
Oh my god, look at this. This is the men's track and field uniform, and this is the women's track and field uniform. No shorts, just pure bathing suit. Okay, sorry.
I've heard the similar thing with volleyball.
Oh yeah, and soccer had the white shorts. People were like, "Oh, well, we know what menstruates."
So your headphone amp is, if you wave your hand under there, there's a green light and a box.
Yeah.
There's a black knob.
You can turn it up or down.
Yep. Turn it up or down.
Okay. So when the actual punk music goes on, I can just mute it.
Exactly.
Got it.
And then this is your microphone.
Okay.
And the way that these mics work is they're not like public address microphones where you can stand way back. You want to get like
all up in it.
All up in it. You want to eat the
mic.
Yep, that's perfect. You want to be like an inch or so.
How often are these sanitized?
Every day.
Okay.
I have a little spray. Just a little like sanitizer spray.
Okay, fun.
Let's see. If you'd like to give it another spritz.
Sure. I'm not.
It doesn't smell the best, but it works.
I'm not a germaphobe really, but I was just like, the amount of people who probably like.
It's a good idea.
I get more worried about like people being like sick, especially after COVID, you know?
I think that's a valid concern.
Yeah. Do you have to have both headphones on, or can you have like?
Leave one open. Once we start talking on air, you'll want.
I'll want both. Yeah.
You'll want both on.
Tater Tot, are you a radio pup now?
Radio.
Okay, I'm gonna pull you up. Just give me a second. Do I have to hit the on and off buttons? Or just put it on and then leave it.
I'm gonna try to coach you up.
Okay.
On those, I'll do it in the beginning.
Okay.
But then, partway through, I'll ask you to kind of take over.
So, I mean, I feel like I could probably figure it out. You know, I think if I'm talking, it should be on. If I'm not talking, it should be off.
Yep.
Oh, I thought you were taking a picture.
No, can I do a quick video real quick?
Yeah.
All right, in the studio, ready to do Panther Pete is a punk. Radio DJ is up. OBS is up. And special guest today, Juliet Seuss.
Yeah! Woo-woo!
And Tater.
And Tater Tot.
Tater Tot. All right, tune in, chapmanradio.live at 1 p.m. Okay. Done. All right, gonna get my keep her going here. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Are you sure you're ready? Once you go down this path, there's no going back. You need that karate teacher? No. I made him your sense. Yeah.
This is Panther Beats a Punk, the fastest show on Chapman Radio. Playing new releases from the world of punk rock, a few blasts from the past, interviewing guests on a variety of topics.
And welcome to Panther Pete is a Punk, the April 11th, 2024 edition. I'm your host, DJ Curley, and we have a lot of new music coming at you from Pirate Promotions, some Epitaph Record stuff, and I think some stuff from Bad Time Records as well. But we have more than just music going on today. We also have a special guest in studio. Can everybody please help me welcome Juliet Seuss?
Oh, so glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course. And we are going to dive into a nice conversation, maybe some swimming conversation, some music swimming conversation, some life situation conversation, all that kind of stuff is happening today. But I think that we'll play around at Ducking High first, since you've got cards in front of you.
Yeah, I just sat down and these cards were here. So seems like it's.
Have you read the cards yet?
I did not. No.
Okay, pick one randomly.
Okay. All right, here we go.
All right, and then the way that this is, don't read it yet. The way that this is going to work is that you will read what's on that card.
Okay.
I'm going to play a Bad Cop song, since you mentioned them.
I actually
other
really
day.
do love Bad Cop.
So we're gonna listen to a Bad Cop song
Okay.
while we think about how we are going to respond to the Ducking High prompt.
I feel like aren't you supposed to do them on the fly? Like, you know how ducks fly? Like, you just really want to think about it.
We're gonna.
Okay, I love
This is a thinker round.
Okay,
Maybe
I'm good with a thinker round.
Next round is going to be off the cuff, rapid fire type of thing.
Okay,
But
sounds like a plan. Let's do it. Bad Cop,
all right.
Bad Cop, here we come.
All right, so read us the prompt.
Okay. If you could have all the knowledge in the world about a specific topic, what topic would you choose?
If you could have all the knowledge in the world about a specific topic, what would you choose is the prompt, right?
That's correct.
Okay, interesting. All right, so we're going to give that a thought. In the meantime, here is Perpetual Motion Machine.
How'd I do?
Excellent.
Okay, so
Excellent.
far so good.
So we'll come back and
DJ Curly almost made me laugh out loud because I did not like think about that.
I've told you that's my DJ
We gotta
name,
come
right?
with it. I think so, but I think I just forgot. What's my DJ name?
That's a good question.
D Coach J.
I like that.
It's just the first thing that came to my mind.
Coach DJ. Yeah. Sometimes these things happen organically. Like, you don't choose your DJ name.
Oh,
Your
okay.
DJ name happens to you.
It chooses you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's a student that she thought she was being funny, and she was like, oh, I really like if I'm sick, I'll have raw onion to help me get over my cold.
So she's DJ Raw
So
Onion.
she's raw onion.
Poor thing. No,
She's
that's
short. She's done pretty good. She shortened it. Now she's just DJ Raw.
Oof. Oh my god. But Yeah, it's like in the deaf community when you spell out your name until someone gifts you like a shorthand version of your name.
Okay.
So it's kind of a similar thing. Like you have your name until something else chooses you.
I know that for like backpacking and hiking, that like your trail name is something you don't get to pick.
Yeah.
Somebody else picks it for you. It's a circumstance that you find yourself in.
Okay, I do actually have to think about this answer though. What I would choose as a specific. I'm gonna like wonder how broad. I feel like the obvious answer would be that I would choose swimming, but like I feel like that's just like way too boring. So I'm not gonna do that.
I've got my answer.
Okay. You want to go first?
Sure. And then
is yours punk?
Something I'm going to show you in a little bit here.
Uh-huh.
But these are our timers for the station, so this is our countdown for when the song ends.
Yeah. Okay, so we have 15 seconds till the song's over.
I was just going to keep an eye up there. But this one fades out, so I'm just going to jump in. All right, and that was Bad Cop Perpetual Motion Machine. One of my favorite bands and a local band, an LA-based band. All right, so we are back at it. Before we allow Juliet to properly introduce themselves, we are going to answer this first question. And I think that it's only appropriate that we play the appropriate thinking music as we think about what the answer. I guess there's not really an answer. There's just your perspective type of thing. Can you?
I have
Juliet,
to say though, I love Jeopardy, so thank you for that.
Can you read us the prompt one more time, please?
Yes. If you could have all the knowledge in the world about a specific topic, what topic would you choose?
All right. So I have been trying to learn Spanish lately, and I think that I was going to say language, like if I could just have the knowledge of language, but I don't think that that's the prompt. It says specifically.
Yeah.
Is the key word there. So I'm going to say specifically Spanish.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah. And along with, I think staying with specificity is like I'm following a guy on Instagram right now that does specifically Costa Rican Spanish.
Okay, good. I love the specifics because there is definitely a lot of like dialects of Spanish.
Dialects, slang.
Yeah.
Really need to learn how to say shit show the other day.
Oh, okay. Well, now you have to share with the class.
It's despiche.
Oh, very fun.
Yeah. So que despiche. What a shit show.
I think I probably would say that like 5 times a day at least.
Well, I'm beginning to now. And for Mexican Spanish, Cheeto is cool.
Oh, okay.
Yep. But
well, look at you
like
learning all the things.
Spain Spanish is a different. I forget how they say cool in Spain, but we're closer to Mexico, so I'm more concerned with learning Mexican slang.
Yeah, that's probably good too, and also like less colonialized that way.
True.
Yeah, or like at least maybe reclaiming.
Yeah. But yeah, I really love to like really know Spanish, be conversational in it, and yeah, kind of know the different dialects, slang, all that kind of stuff as it relates to Espanol.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I thought you were gonna say punk, so in spirit of the show. But I'm glad that you threw us a curveball.
Okay.
I feel like in that note, the obvious thing for me to say would be swimming.
Right.
Because I coach swimming and diving, but that's just too obvious for me. I think then also it takes the fun out of learning to know something about or everything about something.
Oh, yeah.
So I kind of dislike that part of the premise because like I love reading and learning more things. But I guess like I would say a topic would be gender. Like I wish I knew everything that there was to know about gender. That's like something that feels really personal to me, but also really can get you to know other people and like how they view the world and how they move through the world. So I feel like that would be something that would both quench my curiosity, but also increase my empathy and understanding of other people.
But yeah, I hear what you're saying. At the same time, like if you've considered like, oh, I've learned everything,
right?
Then like, yeah, where's the fun in the search and the quest for
Right,
for
and
knowledge.
so much things change. Like with Spanish, like the slang is going to change,
Yeah.
and with me, like gender terminology changes, like what feels like every day, in really positive, cool ways that moves us forward. So does that mean like my brain like automatically downloads like all the new information, or is like do I know everything that there is to know up till now, and then I get to keep learning about it? Because that would be a really then I would definitely pick gender, because then I could like still be learning and growing.
It sounds like we're rejecting the question actually now. Is that
I mean, I feel like that's pure academia.
There's
So I feel like
no-
if we didn't pick apart the question, we wouldn't be doing it right.
there's no way to ever like fully learn anything.
Right.
you know?
Exactly.
As long as there's human beings on the planet, things are always shifting. They're amoebic, they're amorphous.
Which is like the glory of being alive.
Yeah.
But I guess like if you picked something that was like a specific event in the past, then maybe that wouldn't change a ton. But I
Or-
feel like even still, like whose perspective are you getting?
Yeah.
Like
Or maybe you at least get to the point where your contemporaries see you as an expert.
Yeah.
That other people see you as like, this person is the expert in this topic.
right.
Maybe you don't know it all, but you know a whole lot more than
Yeah.
everybody else.
And that would definitely be fun. I feel like we have a lot of people on this campus who would fall into that category for sure.
All right, so Juliet, the reason that I like to do this game, a little icebreaker, a little introduction before I bring a guest on into the show, is because I think that it gives us a little bit of some insight into the person that we are going to be talking to and going to be learning about. So that's what I would like to do today, is to learn about Juliet Seuss. We're going to learn about Juliet Seuss right now.
It's interview time, but don't worry, it's not Panther Pete. That guy's a chucklehead, and he's still a punk. It's somebody way better than Panther Pete.
Indeed, it is somebody way better than Panther Pete. It is Juliet Seuss, head swim coach of Chapman University. Juliet, I'll kind of let you take the direction of how you want to introduce yourself wherever you want to go.
Wow.
But maybe if you can give us a little bit of history of how you ended up here at Chapman.
Okay, yeah, I can definitely. That's at least a narrow enough prompt for me. So I'm Julia Seuss, as Travis introduced. Coach J, more informally, across campus. As Travis said, I'm also, or DJ Curly said, I also.
That's right.
Yes, I love it. Where was I? Oh, I'm the head swim and dive coach here at Chapman University. My pronouns are they, them. And this is the end of my second season here at Chapman, or second school year. But I have been in the conference, in the SkyET conference, since 2010, either as a coach or a student. And the first time I walked onto Chapman's campus in 2018, I looked around and I was like, what? I didn't know this pool was here. I didn't know this was here. And I left that day and I told my boss at the time, that's where I want to be a head coach. And then here we are, 5 years later, 6 years later now, but very exciting to be here.
Oh, it was 6 years ago that you kind of first learned about Chapman and the university.
Well, it's like I knew Chapman because we competed against them, but I never
Right.
been on Chapman's campus. And at the time, Chapman was, in the bottom third of the conference. And that's awesome. Like, they had really good athletes. Coach had been here for a really long time. But we had never competed here when I was either at Oxy or at the Claremont colleges where I was before this. And so, like, for 8 years, I just didn't know anything about Chapman other than the fact that they were in our conference. So when I walked onto the pool deck on that first time I was here, I was like, oh my God, this is so gorgeous. So that's why. And then I knew everything I knew about Chapman from there on out, like, just kind of solidified that this is somewhere that I wanted to be and somewhere that I could make a mark and kind of help people. And that's kind of how I ended up here.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but for my experience of working here at Chapman, being part of the community, is that it feels exciting to be somewhere that is growing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think there's more people that are aware of the university. It's literally growing in the sense of the student population, buildings that are being built and spreading out. And
Yeah.
I remember because I grew up here locally in
Right.
Long Beach, and the only thing I knew about Orange was that there were just a ton of thrift shops in Old Town, and that was it. I didn't even know that there was a university here. And I think at that time in the mid 90s when I was growing up in Southern California, the student population was 1,500 students.
Right.
And now we're, I think including grad students, we're around 13,000, or at least the goal is to get to 13,000.
Yeah. I
with
think
grad students, with pharmacy students,
Right.
like when you add them all up.
on the Rinker campus.
Rinker,
Yeah. Also. So yeah, I know. I think that that's really exciting is to be somewhere that's growing because then you can help shape what that growth can look like and feel like, and you get to feel like you're a part of something. And what strikes me too about Chapman is like everybody I know who has gone to Chapman or is affiliated with Chapman in any way has just always spoken so highly of it and like their experiences here. I mean, the amount of alums that continue to work for the university, I think is something that's really exciting. You know, you're really part of the Panther family, as they like to say. And it really does feel like you want to be a part of it and that you are a part of something larger than yourself. And I think that that's something that's really exciting.
And I think the other thing that I just recently learned is that you're moving locally.
Yes,
which is
thank
going to be
goodness.
awesome.
Yes, I finally found an apartment here, and we will be moving, and I will be less than 2 miles away, rather than 40. So
Nice.
That's a big plus.
And so I think that the other thing, kind of as somebody that lives, because DJ Curley here lives just right up the street,
Right.
walking distance, is that everything that you were talking about with the university and you know, it's kind of exciting to be around here because it seems like things are growing, like not super stagnant. And the local neighborhood I've been feeling is the same way. That there's a group of residents that have been here for a really long time, you know, spent their whole lives here, and just with the way that life goes, they're moving out, and the people that are kind of coming in behind them are people like you and me that are part of the university, and
Right.
the area is kind of turning into more of a, I guess I want to say a college town, or at least kind of like going that direction. Maybe not in the most traditional
I'm sure that there's
sense.
a lot of Orange residents who would heavily hope that that doesn't happen.
Well, that is definitely the tension that I think is a little bit less now, but a few years ago, definitely before COVID,
Yeah.
there was a whole Facebook group that was dedicated to Stop Chapman Expansion, I think was the name of the Facebook group.
Oh, wow.
And ABC News did a whole story on it.
Oh my gosh, that's
it was
wild.
a whole thing, yeah.
That's not surprising, but yeah, I think that is definitely something that we're seeing. I mean, even just like in 2 years, like the amount of like coffee shops and things that have like sort of gone into the circle feels like there's been growth there, and it's just so much like cute stuff happening for sure.
Yeah. All right, Julia. So we don't have a DJ name for you yet.
We can take submissions though, like, you know, if people want to call in. I don't know if that's
Okay.
like literally, they can Instagram message me or something like that, and we can come up with some DJ names.
Okay. If anybody does want to call in, offer a DJ name or just want to chat, phone number is 714-516-6187.
Oh my gosh.
714-516-6187. Just ask for DJ Curley, and we will put you live on air. I'm a swimmer.
Yeah, you are.
Juliet is a swimmer and swim coach.
Uh-huh.
So when we get back from the song, I want to talk about swimming.
Oh, everyone's favorite topic on a punk show.
Everybody's favorite topic on a punk show. But to get back to the punk music, I was telling Juliet that Mannequin Pussy just released a new album called I Got Heaven, and it is really good. Juliet, you said you hadn't heard of Mannequin Pussy before.
No, I haven't. But I will say that my knowledge of punk is fairly shallow.
Okay.
It's not non-existent, but you know, I'm dipping my toes in. So let's see how it sounds, how it feels.
Well, you can tell everybody when you leave the studio today that I just heard the new Mannequin Pussy release.
I will absolutely be telling my partner that because he is a punk person, so he's going to be very excited to hear that I'm expanding my knowledge of punk.
Right. Just before we get to the song, little introduction so that everybody is familiar with who this band is. It's a Philadelphia rock band that consists of Collins Bear Regisford. That's a good name. Kayleen Reading, Maxine Steen, and Marissa DeBice. Let's see, there's so much constantly going on that feels intentionally evil that trying to make something beautiful feels like a radical act. The ethos of the band has always been to bring people together. So that's what this album, I Got Heaven, is about. Just came out on March 1st. So we're all about the new releases here at Chapman Radio. And this came directly from Epitaph Records. So Epitaph, thank you very much for giving us this music as opposed to me having to steal it like I did as a kid. So let's get into it. Mannequin Pussy, I Got Heaven. Well, very good, Juliet. You're natural.
Oh, thanks.
You were meant to be on it.
What are you trying to say? I don't have the face for TV?
Well, as we were putting together at the end of every semester we do awards for every show, and we've got a little category for goofy awards that shows come in.
Love that.
And somebody last night threw out Face for Radio award. Like, it's funny, but I don't know.
It'd only be funny if you
Give
gave
that
it to
one.
someone who's like classically extremely attractive.
Yeah.
Because then you'd be like, this is obviously not real.
Yeah. Or just in on the joke.
Yeah.
You know,
You should give it to the person who created it.
That's true.
like
You were asking for it, basically.
you this is the award you wanted. You're welcome. We made it a thing and you're a winner. Wow.
Yeah. Take home this award and
That's
cry.
hilarious. Oh my god. This is pretty good.
Yeah. It's pretty good. They do a good job of like kind of getting like mellow and vibey,
Yeah.
and then like really
And then a little bit
loud
of screaming.
and, a little bit of screaming and a little punky.
Yeah.
I haven't seen their show, but I bet you that they put on a really good show too. They just look like a cool band. This is them.
Oh my god. They don't look like they look like they'd be like an ethereal
I know.
like hippy dippy band.
Yeah.
Like Florence and the Machine kind of vibe.
Yeah, that picture is pretty good.
Oh my gosh, so cute. Look at Tater below your feet.
He's like, this radio life is intense.
He likes it.
All right, 23 seconds before we're back. And we're back. Panther Pete is a punk on April 11th at 1 p.m. on Thursdays, as always, is when we tune in. And we just heard some Mannequin Pussy, new release from March 1st. And we also have Juliet, who's in studio, the head swim and dive coach here at Chapman University. Juliet, the audience has spoken. They love you, as you can tell by their round of applause.
Yes, totally realistic. Very much. I believed it. I was ready to take a bow.
Yeah, believe me, I got my sound effects ready to go. But I wanted to come back and talk about swimming.
Okay.
And the one thing that I really wanted to talk about and to give you a chance to brag about is how did this season go and what were the accolades that you kind of won and gained by the end of the season?
Oof. It was an absolutely amazing season. I mean, I got really lucky when I came here, to be honest, with the athletes that we had. There was some stellar athletes on the team, lots of people who really wanted to work hard. So over the past 2 seasons, just seeing how much better the team has gotten, not just from like a recruiting standpoint, because I think often when new coaches come in, they're like, oh, well, they recruited really well and that's why their team is doing better. But yes, I think I did a good job of recruiting. First years, you're amazing. Love you lots. And the sophomores, juniors, and seniors, they're crushing it. And last year's seniors. So it's been really exciting to be able to build on that. But numbers wise, this year we broke 58 school records.
What?
For 39 in the first season, so we've broken a total of 97. I think we had like 114 changes to the all-time top 10 list, and then like 258 or something like that PRs, which is so wild.
Awesome.
And just really speaks to how well the team, how hard they're working, and the bonds that they've built. And then we had Reed, our diver friend, Reed O'Million.
Reed the Diver. That would be a good DJ name.
Okay, well, Reed, if you're listening.
Reed the Diver coming at you at 2 p.m. on Chapman Radio.
Okay, well, we now have to sign him up for Chapman Radio because I think that just wrote itself.
Can we go on a little tangent right now?
Yes, please.
Has been this rash of Chapman Swim and Dive athletes being part of Chapman Radio.
Well, yeah, they're obviously they're engaged individuals, and also they've got a lot of really interesting things to say. So it's exciting to see them getting involved and also being able to explore passions other than swimming. I think that's one of the things about D3. Not to get on my like recruiting pitch, but it's definitely something that is really, really fun to be able to do that in addition to swimming and being able to explore other passions. So it's been fun to listen to them as well. So I always tune in to the athletes.
I think it's Mondays at 11 is Reese and Grace's show.
Correct.
If I remember correctly off the top of my head.
Yes, and then we have OC outings also, which is like food and that's Cole
that's right.
and Dev.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I forgot because Cole and Deb joined me for interterm.
Correct.
And then the way that it works at Chapman Radio is that you can roll over into being a club member, so you just keep your show going.
Right.
So I remember them from interterm and a little bit from this semester.
They've kept their Instagram up a little bit, so
Okay.
at least there's been photos of food, which has made me hungry every time. But yeah, Reed went to nationals. Last year he went to nationals as well. He's the first man, swimmer or diver, from Chapman to go to nationals. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he's the only one who has ever scored points for the men at NC2As, which is super cool.
Shout out to Reed. He gets the air horn for that one.
Yeah.
Super cool.
So he placed, and last year he placed on one board, and this year he placed top 16 on both of his boards. So like just really awesome. And then Kiana Tanizaki, she is the first woman to go to NCAAs in 20 years. So 2004 was the last time with Katie Wise, who went to D3 nationals. She scored points in the 2IM and the 100 fly. And this year, Kiana scored points for the first time in 20 years in the 200 fly. And she's reared and ready to go back next season. So we're excited.
That's awesome. How does one swim the 200 fly? That seems like the most difficult. I'd rather do the 400 IM than the 200 fly.
Yeah, I don't think that's a choice I ever had to make in my life. I was like, oh, should I swim the 50 free or the 200 free? But, you know, some people are just like really built for it. Kiana is amazing at underwater. So I think that she swims it very differently from, you know, Summer Solomon, for example, who swam it. She has great underwaters too, but she definitely has more of like a rhythmic butterfly so she spends more time above the water. And we give slightly different race strategies to all of them based on what their strengths are. So it really depends on who you're asking how you swim the 200 fly. But mostly my answer for my personal self is I don't.
That is one of the interesting things about swimming, that if we can kind of connect it to I guess other things in life or other areas of life or just life generally, is how people are just different.
Right.
And how like we just kind of gravitate to certain things, or we're built for certain things better than other things. And I don't know, I feel like there's some type of connection or metaphor for, but we all
absolutely.
come together to make this team, and we all have to work together and like do our individual parts well in order for this thing to work. We can't all just be 50 free swimmers and that's it.
We need Chapman Radio hosts, and we need Chapman Radio guests, and we need, so there's always ways. And I can't have a football team with 100 quarterbacks. You need all the different pieces, and but also, the way that I'm going to age myself by these quarterback examples, but like the way that Dan Marino held the football was considered so weird for like years and years, and then and Brett Favre held it in a different way than Dan Marino. But they're both like incredible quarterbacks, historically speaking. Personalities will leave to the side, or personal stories will leave to the side, but. So of course, you throw the ball in a different way, you swim different races, but it all comes together, and you can achieve greatness in a lot of different ways, and also contribute to the team that is humanity in a lot of different ways.
The last thing that I want to talk about with swimming before we get to our next song, and then I have another game that I would like to play with you.
Yes, the games is the whole reason I came.
It's all about radio games. Is we've talked a couple of times. I've wanted to participate with Chapman Radio. I think that there's still an opportunity down the road. But what do you see as what needs to happen for the sport of swimming, and I guess I'll say specifically at the NCAA level, to make swim meets more enjoyable, attractive, fun to watch, engaging? Because I think that that's something that I've heard online following other people, is how do we make swimming more fun and engaging, like reach a bigger audience, draw more people in. Like what do you think needs to happen?
You've been following Kyle Sockwell, haven't you?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, he talks about that a lot, and a lot of people do. But he, thanks to him, because he's really highlighted a lot of the sort of not fun aspects of swimming, and I think there's a lot of different answers to this that I have. Like swimming and diving separate. Like people need to be able to learn more about diving in ways that are like really easily digestible. Like the people who are on the same team, right? The swimmers have no idea anything about diving, but there's not like a great way to teach them. Like how can we make that accessible, like on a scoreboard or something like that? So I think part of it is like people don't know that much about it. But then also we don't, I went to D3 Nationals this year, and the day one in the morning event is like, this guy broke a national record by a ton. And then you could have heard like a pin drop. And I'm like, where's the music? Where's the this? They have walkout music between the races, but like that's kind of it. And I feel like the fanfare at the actual events could just be so much more exciting. Because when I talk to people, they're like, swimming is one of my favorite things to watch at the Olympics. I absolutely love it.
Totally.
So then I don't understand the disconnect between that and and this. But I think that's something that to pull a parallel to March Madness, right? All of a sudden they decided, okay, we're going to start investing in the women's March Madness. They actually could use the March Madness logo. They had actual facilities. I mean, there's still some horror stories out there. University of Michigan, so sorry that y'all got stuck. But all of a sudden, now we have more viewers of the women's game than we do of the men's. Mm-hmm. We highlight, really awesome players who are doing awesome things, whether that's Caitlin Clark or Juju Watkins, or like I could name probably 5 Angel Reese. I can like 5 women's games. I don't think I could tell you a single man in the NCAA basketball tournament. I think UConn won it. I think that's the extent of my knowledge there.
Yep.
But I think that if you did a similar thing with swimming, where you invested in it, and then you highlighted really exciting things that are happening, who's breaking records, who is, doing cool NIL deals, who's doing stuff for their community. There's so many different ways, but it's just like crickets.
Yeah.
You don't hear about it. So I would love to see investment, obviously, but then also just like make meets more exciting. Bring in a DJ. They did that at a Virginia meet, and it looked so fun.
Yeah.
I was like, can I go there for a meet just to watch? Even I mean, I want to go there to watch a meet anyway, because like watching Gretchen Walsh would be so fun. But beside that, so I think that's my top thing. Invest, and then bring in stuff that actually makes it fun.
It seems like there's room for also, there's a disconnect from the general public in how just absurd like swimmers are as far as being athletes goes.
What do you mean?
So like speaking of basketball, we can talk about like, oh, this guy has this 40-inch crazy vertical leap. Or
Right.
Caitlin Clark broke this record and is like shooting 3-pointers from all over the
Right.
court.
Right.
And this football player weighs this much but can run a 40-yard dash in this
Right,
amount. And like the stuff that like I'm thinking specifically of like somebody like a Leon Marchand or
Right.
Gretchen Walsh or like these, we can talk about the people at the very top of the sport, which I guess I kind of am at the moment, but even not the top people at the sport, like people at Chapman, people
Right.
at other colleges, universities, like what swimmers do, like
Yeah, we're
is
wild.
insane.
We're wild for sure.
Like the athleticism involved and how quickly somebody can go across a pool
Right.
isn't appreciated by the general public.
And I think that that's less because they wouldn't appreciate it, and more because they don't have like as much of a like, oh well, this is how fast I can do something, right? Like if I'm looking at like Usain Bolt for he goes 100-meter dash in faster than I can run 5 yards. But I think that people can see, oh, I know how long it could take me to run a 100-meter dash. I know what that looks like and what that could feel like in my own body, but so few people go to a swim practice or swim in any way that gives them a comparison point to themselves, that then they're like, oh wow, that's even more amazing because there's no way in heck that I could do that. It's like, of course they are like, oh yeah, that Gretchen Walsh was great, but I don't know what that compares to
Right.
any other things. So I think that that's also a little bit of it. And so I think that kind of like education piece, it's like, no, that was incredible what has happened. Like,
And incredible is not an overstatement.
Oh
It-
no, what happened at
Like
the
it's
NCAA level
literally
this
unbelievable.
year,
Like I don't understand how
Like-
a human being can do it.
literal jaw on the floor, like what just happened there, kind of like it across so many races. The 500 freestyle is going to be the new 4-minute mile. Like who can go a 500 free in under 4
Yeah.
minutes? And we're going to see that happen probably sooner rather than later. And then we're just going to see potentially people do it over and over and over and over. And nobody thought that was possible. And now Leon Marchand has been like, oh, well, I'm 4:02. See you soon.
That was his swim in Japan with the 400 IM when he took his very last lap of free, took his underwaters to 15 meters.
Well, he went to
After
15.
after swimming 350 meters of
Well,
all
he
the
went
other strokes
to
and all the other stuff.
halfway and almost all halfway or above in his entire 500.
Just to be able to swim that without breathing, essentially.
Right. Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
just
Do all that work
insane.
and then also hold your breath on top of it.
I said that was the last thing, but the very last thing that kind of popped into my head too is excited about the future of swimming. As
Yes.
I get more into it, the more I'm understanding that we as society, I think, I could be doing a disservice to different groups of people throughout history, but at least in recent history, we as human beings have only thought about like traveling through water in a race situation like as fast as possible within the last like what less than 100 years or so.
Oh yeah, I would say so.
Whereas like running, like human beings have always run, and there's been races and sprinting, but I don't think that human beings have really put a whole lot of thought into the using efficiency to move through water, using technique to move through water, equipment, whether it be suits or caps or something like that, like
the science behind it.
It, and thinking human beings have been around for millions of years, and it's really been within the last like 100 years, even like less than 100 years for like really thinking about the science of swimming.
Right.
And that just blows my mind. That it like within our lifetimes, like swimming has changed so much, and what is considered efficient swimming and like the proper techniques.
So much.
And it's like we human beings have been around for millions of years, and we're just kind of figuring out how to move through water.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, I mean, a lot of that has to do too with the fact that like again, the Olympics made it more exciting. Now more people are doing it. And then obviously there's a lot of other history that goes into why certain communities or whatever aren't as involved with swimming. But yeah, I mean, and then everyone can remember the 2008 Olympics. I mean, maybe not everyone who wasn't alive. All y'all college students listening probably have no recollection of what I'm talking about. But even still, like I think that they've probably seen the video of Jason Lezak on that last leg of the relay hunting down France, who was favored to win, and he was like a body length behind. And like that's so exciting. And that's what we need to highlight in swimming in order to keep growing it, is like if you want people to join it, like it has to be something that's exciting to do and exciting to watch. And lots of people don't necessarily think sticking your head and looking at a black line for 2 hours a day is very interesting. So I think it's also marketing it to the younger generation. Like, how are we making swimming interesting? Let's not just do garbage yardage all the time. That doesn't, A, it doesn't work, and B, it's not fun.
Yeah. Swimming
is a sport. Sports are supposed to be fun. You play sports. You don't slog your way through them.
Yeah. Which, speaking of which, yesterday for my club practice was the main coach was out, so the set wasn't as creative, and it was 5 400s straight.
Yeah, I was just like,
I was like, oh, this is
walk out.
Super fun.
Right? Like, I mean, if you're a distance swimmer, like if you do 5 400 straight and there's specific things that you're looking for in each of those 400s, then maybe that's going to be interesting. And there are definitely some people who would love that set. I actually probably have a couple of people on my team who are listening and be like, well, maybe we should do that. Yeah, let's do like 5 400s backstroke even. Let's try that. But that would just not be something that would be like my immediate go-to. You know, there's ways to be creative that are so much more fun than that, and also that you're going to get engagement from. So
totally. All right, Juliet, that's it for the swimming conversation. We've got about 7 minutes before the show is over.
What?
I know. And then
my gosh.
We've got to make room for the next show that's coming in, which, by the way, Spark Radio. Definitely those that are tuned in right now, please stick around for Spark Radio. It's a very good talk show. They brought in voice actors last time.
That's so fun.
That was really interesting. It was pretty cool. All right. So I promised a game.
Okay.
We're going to get to the game. And the game is... All right, so this game is called Fun Facts.
Okay.
With Curly. And the reason that it's Fun Facts with Curly is because me, DJ Curly, gives you fun facts.
Okay.
If you can believe it.
Okay. That's a creative title you got there.
It's a super creative title.
Yeah.
So how this game works is that I am going to give you 3 potential fun facts.
Okay.
2 of those fun facts are fake facts.
Okay, so you're spreading misinformation here.
So spreading misinformation.
Okay.
But one of the things that I'm going to tell you is indeed a fun fact.
Okay, so it's
And that
two
is-
truths and a lie meets fun facts meets Fox News. Got it.
Exactly. You've got the game. You are
Okay,
already
sorry, just
already
kidding.
a winner. But yes, we are. That's the point of Panther Pete is a Punk, is to spread misinformation. So you're going to hear two misinformations,
Okay,
one correct information.
I think if you do say that it's misinformation after, at least then you've given that out. So that's I
Okay.
think that's okay.
All right.
We'll let it slide.
Okay, so are you ready to play?
I'm the most ready for sure.
Okay, so I'm going to give you 3 facts here, and we're going to start with we're going to start with this one. So potential fun fact number 1.
Okay.
A penny dropped from the top of the Empire State Building can kill you. Here's potential fun fact number 1. Potential fun fact number 2. Thanks to high-resolution flat-screen TVs, dogs are able to see TV screens as well as humans.
Tater, what do you think?
Tater. Potential fun fact number 3. You can see the Great Wall of China from space. You can see the Great Wall of China from space.
I am actually pretty sure that you can see the Great Wall of China from space. I feel like that's the accurate one.
Is that your final answer?
I mean, I don't not know nearly enough about dogs' vision to guess whether or not they can see the TV or not, but then so I have no idea about that one. And then what was the other one?
A penny drop.
A penny drop.
Yeah.
I feel like that's could also be true, but I feel like I saw somewhere once that you could see the. Like, I feel like I read that, but, like, who knows where I read it, right? It could have been online, so.
Well, everything on the internet's true, so.
Especially if it's on ChapmanRadio.live. Okay, yes, I'm going to stick with my original hypothesis.
Okay, so we're going with you can see the Great Wall of China from space.
Yeah.
Is your final answer.
Well, I guess it depends on, like, how far up in space are we talking, too? Is that
Well, I think space, like, technically starts above, I want to say 60 miles above.
Okay, then yeah, I think let's just stick with that.
Okay. All right, so is seeing the Great Wall of China from space, is that the correct fun fact? Let's go to the board.
Oh, sad.
no.
The internet lied to me?
The internet lied to
color
you.
me shocked. Okay,
So,
then,
the correct answer. Thanks to modern television screens, dogs are able to watch TV as well as humans. Human eyes can register around 55 images a second, while dogs, better at detecting quick movements, we were talking about chasing squirrels earlier, can see around 75 images a second. Older TV sets were flickering around 60 times a second, good for humans, but not adapted for dogs. New television screens have higher frequencies, so dogs can finally appreciate what happens on TV.
Oh, well, you know what? All the squirrels that we watch on TV, that Tater's very grateful now.
Well, so that is one round of fun facts. So, want to do one more?
We can do that. I also have a ducking high question that
Ooh.
it's actually a quicker one than the first one, so we could do that too. Whichever
Okay.
one you prefer.
Let's do. Close the chapter on fun facts
Okay.
with the official closing of the bell.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect.
It's done.
Okay.
Moving
That's
on. Moving on to ducking high.
Okay. I think this is fun. If you could add one thing to the Mona Lisa, what would it be?
Ooh, if you could add. Let's see. Wait a minute. I need my. It doesn't work unless I have my thinking music.
Oh, totally understand.
Okay. If you could add one thing to the Mona Lisa, what would it be?
Yeah.
Add one thing to the Mona Lisa, what would it be? Do you have your answer?
Yeah. But I feel like you would probably like my answer is probably pretty like on Coach J point.
Coach J point. Okay. I want to be creative. I want to be clever. I want to be funny. I'm trying to come up with a good one. I have one right now, but it's kind of cliche. Okay, you go first.
Well, I feel like because the Mona Lisa has been like kind of put forth as like what good art is, which is like a whole topic for a different day. That because who gets to decide what the arbiter of good art is? So I feel like I'd want to add something that like makes it less high level art. Like I want to add like glitter and like sparkles to it because it's like, oh, a 3-year-old did that, you know? It's like, it's just the Mona Lisa, I'm sure, is beautiful. I mean, it's like, you know, it takes 3 hours or whatever to see it if you want to go and see it, which I did not. But it just feels like kind of basic. So let's like make it a little bit more exciting.
Okay.
What do you think?
Here's what I would add. In the spirit of a punk rock show,
Yes.
all right. I think to make Mona Lisa more punk
Okay, perfect.
this is what I would do. Is so if I'm envisioning the Mona Lisa correctly, it's just a portrait where old Mona is just sitting.
Is she smiling? Is she not
We
smiling?
don't know. But what I would like to see is like right from underneath her, like it seems like she's in some type of gown.
Yeah.
Like maybe from underneath the gown, or like there's an opening, like a pocket somewhere
Uh-huh.
that she could just like have a little middle finger at the very bottom of the
Or it's like,
at the very bottom of the
like
picture.
a little like rock on hand symbol or
a
something.
rock
I love
on,
that.
a middle finger,
I think
something
just,
like
don't even
above board. It's like is
don't
she
even
smiling?
make it
Is
like
she not?
super subtle, but, like, you know, like just like a little like right off to the side, you know, like I love that.
I
Let's
think
do
that would be my punk rock Mona Lisa.
Okay.
It's like she's flipping you off at the very bottom, but above board, it's
Yeah.
is she smiling? Is she not? It's
Right.
like
Well, just a quick fun story to end this. My mother-in-law is one of those people who just really loves taking photos. She loves her family so much. She loves all the people around her that she wants to take pictures of everything so she can remember it and hold them close to her. But my partner and his brother and other family members have gotten a little tired of the whole let's take pictures all the time thing.
okay.
So they started flicking off the camera every time she tries to take a picture now. And I just like I tried not to because I think it's so sweet. But yeah, I guess 30 years of having your photo taken all the time makes you start throwing out the
Doing stuff.
So maybe if Mona Lisa, instead of being painted, was actually photographed a bunch of times instead, she'd actually get to that point where she
To that
was
point.
throwing the bird. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, Juliet. So fun having you on air.
It's so fun being here. I feel like we didn't listen to enough punk music,
No.
but next time.
Next time.
Okay.
Next time. But yeah, hopefully next time we can get get you on the Panther Insider Show, so that they can talk to you a little bit more about swimming.
Well,
too.
y'all got my email
Yeah.
whenever.
I
I'm
gotta get
happy
on
to
top
do
of
it. I love talking to everybody, so I'm happy to do it.
All right.
Okay.
Cool. So to play us out, I'm gonna play my favorite punk rock band of all time. I don't know if I told you who it is, but it is NoFX.
I was gonna say NoFX because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we did have this conversation because the guitarist for NoFX was at the Punk Rock Museum before Sam and I got married.
Ooh.
Like he was gonna be there.
Fancy.
Yeah. So okay.
All right. See ya.
Bye. Whew,
Cool.
it gets hot in here.
Yeah, it does.
It's all right.
Trying to get facilities to do anything about that seems to be a losing battle.
Yeah.
Good job.
You're so good, Tater.
Good little studio dog.
Oh.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, bye, Tater. See ya. Tater's like, okay, we're done now. Bye.
Okay, it's like bye.
That was fun. Did you have fun, Tater?
It's fun to be on air.